This is American Dreams, the program where we interview thought leaders and entrepreneurs and bring their ideas to you in real-world context. Benjamin Franklin was a remarkable man. He actually is the only founding father of the United States to have signed all four of the key documents establishing the United States of America. Although a printer and publicist by trade, he retired at the midpoint of his life at the age of 42 and became involved in civics, the sciences, and philanthropy. Before his death, he set up a trust, giving roughly $2,000 to the city of Boston under the condition that the money would not be spent for 100 years. During that time, the funds would be used to earn interest by providing loans to young craftsmen. At the 100-year mark, $100,000 could be withdrawn for public infrastructure projects, and the remainder of the funds could be withdrawn and spent after the second 100 years. When the trust was dissolved in 1990, the total funds neared $5 million. Franklin was a financial genius. However, rather than seek to maximize his personal financial wealth, he established a list of values to live his life by, one of which was seeking the welfare of others. Often, the narrative that gets pushed today is wealth equals success. Despite this, there are people and means in the world that are miserable.
We find that about 20% of those we surveyed are disgruntled. 80% are pretty well off and happy, no matter what your net worth. So what makes them happy?
Dr. Bill Danko has spent 20 years conducting independent research on how affluent families accumulate wealth and addresses the disparities between wealth accumulation and happiness in his book, Richer Than A Millionaire.
Following the golden rule is critical. Those who follow the golden rule of doing unto others as you would have them do unto you is part of the mantra or the philosophy of the well-adjusted millionaire and near millionaire. They're givers, okay? They are at peace with their soul.
Peace.
And that's really important. We all have to struggle with is, are we doing the right thing? Are we justified? Are we doing enough? And you know it when you are. When you're not selfish and you say, I'm a giver and I'm helping others, there's a sense of gratitude. And this is what the well-adjusted have, this sense of gratitude, being at peace with their soul. That's an important aspect. And we also have the empirical evidence about, well, how much do you give to charity on a yearly basis in a monetary sense, and how many hours a year do you volunteer your time? And we find that in both cases, the more you give and the more you volunteer, the greater your satisfaction is in terms of the correlation. And so, since we're dealing with survey research, we can't talk about cause and effect the cause, but we can say there's a real association between being a giver and being at peace and following the golden rule with life satisfaction. Now, here's not a curious, but I think a very important point that has to be recognized here. Franklin wasn't a particularly religious man in a formal sense, but he believed in God. You look at the great religions, you look at Judaism, and in the book of Isaiah, what does the Lord expect from me? He expects us to, give your coat to the naked and feed the hungry. And this is what justifies you. And in Matthew, in Christianity,
Inasmuch as ye have done it unto one of the least of these, my brethren, ye have done it unto me.
You're being charitable. One of the 5 pillars of Islam is almsgiving. The great religions, part of their philosophy and expectation is you must be a giver and helping your fellow man and woman. There's something to that. I can't imagine a religion that's going to make you miserable. And so you have greater life satisfaction when you follow some of these simple admonitions of being a giver.
Bill's book, Richer Than A Millionaire, is amazing. I can't recommend it enough. If you're interested in purchasing it, we'll put a link to it down in the description box. If you're interested in watching the full interview we did with Bill, we'll also put a link below. If you enjoyed this video, Make sure that you hit the like button. When you do, you're forcing YouTube's algorithm to blast this content out there so it can be more easily found and enjoyed by others as well. Last of all, if you want to receive more videos like this, subscribe to our channel and ring the bell. This is Alan Olson with American Dreams.